Welcome back. Well, today, as you can see, we have a haul video, and we probably have more than one because a lot of what I want to do with these haul videos is give you some explanation about why I bought what I bought rather than just any other thing that might have been around. So, for those of you who have been following along with the Crazy Lamp Lady, yesterday she showed a video in which we were shopping at Black Rose Antiques Mall in Chambersburg, Pennsylvania. And this was my bounty. I think maybe I got a little carried away. I think Joss did too. She actually spent almost twice as much as I did. But here it is. Here's the stuff. It's probably going to be more than one video. So we're going to have to get cracking quickly, and we'll be right back. All right, so we're back. And how about a word from our Portuguese friends? Now, I suppose I should mention that even though this book, English as She Is Spoke, is credited to Jose de Fonseca and Pedro Carolino, the actual story behind it is Carolino wrote the book, but he used de Fonseca's French to Portuguese dictionary, which apparently was very popular back in 1855 when he was writing this book. And it seems he hoped to capitalize a little on the popularity of the Fonseca book by adding Mr. Fonseca's name to the title. Nevertheless, apparently neither of these gentlemen spoke a word of English. There was no English to Portuguese dictionary. There was an English to French dictionary, the French to Portuguese dictionary written by Mr. Fonseca, and Mr. Carolino just took that and went to town. And he created this delightful little book, English as She Is Spoke, to help his fellow Portuguese countrymen navigate their way through English-speaking lands. So, this is from the section entitled Familiar Phrases. Oh, and I'm sure you're going to find them ever so familiar. He is mistaken himself. He cames here very early. He does kill him poniard's blow. It should do metter, and take I by the sweetness. Not a clue. He has taken very much her measures. He do know to live. I pray you to use it with me freely. I love you all my heart. I don't expect than yours commands. Never I forget to. I am confused all your civilities. I don't love too much ceremonies. I was made for to laugh. I should eat a piece of something. I have eaten enough. I am satisfied. I have not more appetite. I have thirst or great thirst. I starve, I stifle thirst. I should be drinking a glass of wine. No, I think they've done enough drinking for one day. So that's it. Familiar phrases. Oh, I'm sure we've all heard those before. Okay, now in the past, what I've been doing with these videos is why this and not that. But when I looked at my purchases, I realized I had gotten a lot of these in sets of twos, just by sheer happenstance. So I thought what we would do is look at them in pairs and try to do a little evaluation, one to another. So before we get started, the first thing I want to do is show you the pieces. And I'm going to show you whatever it is we are going to be able to do in this video today. And then if we have to carry it on, the rest will be in a later video. So it's not as if I'm going to photograph all of this, cram it down your throat today, and then say, oh, well, next time around, just remember what you saw last time. No, I'll be kind to you. I'll break it up. I'll add a little lively music. We'll have some fun. So let's take a look at the pieces we are looking at today. Okay, let's start with an overview. I paid $163. Well, let me see if I can get that exactly. I paid $163.55 for this. I have 36 items or sets of items. So the average price is about $4.50. And on a big shopping like this, I tend to look at an average price rather than individual prices. Because as I go along and I'm shopping, if I get some very, very good deals, it gives me sort of permission, if you will, to spend a little extra on something that I can bring into my Etsy shop and use as a loss leader. And we've talked about that before. A loss leader is something that you bring in. You're not going to make a profit on it. Sometimes with big department stores, they'll actually take a loss, and it's to get traffic through your shop. So it gives me a chance to get something that I might otherwise consider a little pricey, bring it into the shop because people will come in to look at it. They might not want to buy it. They'll move on to something else. But when you're selling on Etsy, on eBay, anywhere, at an antiques mall, a yard sale even, you want to bring people in, and if you have something interesting that you can show off to bring them in, you got them there, then there's a better than average chance they'll find something else they like. So loss leaders are valuable, and retail merchants have been using this strategy forever. So some things I do know the prices of, and we're going to start with the most expensive purchase. And that was this. This is a 10-inch bowl. It's Japan, it's Nippon. Beautiful piece. Moriage traditional design with the cherry blossoms, the pink cherry blossoms. Bowl is large, a lot of gilding, a lot of beautiful, and the Moriage work you can tell when you put your fingers on it. And we have 6 little bowls. Now this, I paid $20 for it. It's the most expensive thing here. If I were to sell this on eBay, I would probably be looking at a lot more than that because I would put it to auction, and I would expect it would do nicely. But I'm not going in the Etsy shop. I'm going to make sure that I can at least cover the shipping costs, whatever. I don't expect I'm going to do much more than break even on this set. This is something I'm going to move into the shop so people will see it, they will stop, and maybe they'll look at something else. Now, this is a nice Japanese set. This is going to appeal to Japanese China collectors because it's got the strong Japanese patterns, and because a bowl this large with a smaller set of bowls is popular. It's useful. Now, this particular set probably came out in around the 1950s, I would say, and actually probably a little earlier. There was a time when desserts in this country were wet. Soup desserts, things like zuppa inglese, which is like this Italian custard. Floating Island was a big one in the 1950s. These elegant desserts that were in a large bowl, and they were served like soup. I am going to advertise this probably as a berry bowl set because that's what we are most familiar with. Like I said, very, very nice. It's a lot of interest. The scalloped edge, the moriage, the different colors, the gilding. Let's take a look at this. Now this is German lusterware. Now you're not going to be able to see here, so you're going to have to refer back to our little slideshow. This has sort of, I don't know, peasants farming, I'm guessing. But it also has some of the beautiful classic lusterware colors, in particular the blue and peach. And it has a set of bowls with it as well, which are a set of 5, again, same pattern. So what's the difference we're looking at here? $20, $4.50. And this bowl is larger, and there's an extra serving bowl, but this set is very nice. And I have to say, based on price alone, this one was the better deal. This is something, because I paid relatively little for it, I can afford to use this very much as a loss leader too. That's something that will attract people. It will bring them in. They will say, I want that. And they might look around and get something else too. So there's a value in getting pieces like this that if you price them too high, they're going to be sitting around in your eBay or your Etsy shop or even your brick and mortar shop for a while, because people tend not to go over to your shops and say, oh, I'm just dying to get a 10-inch berry bowl with a whole bunch of little bowls. No, it's not really the sort of thing that people look for. It's the sort of thing that people see and say, oh, I love that. I bet that would be great for, such and so, or, their Sunday night dinner or whatever. So these two were a fairly head-to-head purchase. And as I say, this one, price alone, would make it the better deal. But it has something else going for it too. In this interesting little design, this is very unusual for lusterware. So this is something that's going to appeal to lusterware collectors. And because lusterware is very inexpensive right now, there are a lot more lusterware collectors out there than collectors of Japanese china, particularly in this style of Japanese china. Now, the people who like it, like it. I know that sounds like something from the prime of Miss Jean Brodie, but people who like that cherry blossom pattern in Japanese china, that's what they like. They will go for it. And they'll grab bowls, they'll grab plates, they'll grab cups, because that's a pattern that resonates with them. So we've got two easy call, the $4.50 set, that was the good buy. So let's take a look at these. Let's start with these. Salt and pepper shakers. Very, very pretty. Also a sort of Asian Japanese design with the little pink roses on the bottom. A nice shape. This is a shape that has been around since the 1930s. Very pretty, nice gilding. This is not marked Japan. This is marked MM. Not clear what it means. I would say it is likely it is Japan, and MM is the company mark from the imports. And we'll get into that because there are other pieces here that even when they're not marked Japan, the importing company tells me where they're from. So take a look at these. Let's look at their friends. Again, same shape, but look at this. Very, very Art Deco design. These were the same price. Ooh, that was a nice ring. The same price. All the salt and pepper shakers came in just about the same price, so I'm probably looking at about $3 for each pair. These are going to be the fast sellers because these are just super deco. And a lot of people like Art Deco, and they are going to jump all over this. So this is something that I expect is going to be in the shop for about 40 minutes before somebody grabs it up. Of the two, definitely the better buy. Not that these are not nice. They are. But these are going to be the fast seller. Now creamer and sugar. So let's get into that Japanese label. Lefton. Lefton is a company that imported from Japan. In general, their tags say, imported by Lefton, made in Japan, or something along those lines. But the name Lefton alone is enough to tell me anything I need to know about this. Interesting design. Very brightly colored paisley design that if I didn't know where they came from, I would assume that this was an English set, or Great Britain at least, because of the paisley design, which is very popular there. And we've discussed that before. It got its name from a town in Scotland, Paisley. This is stuck together. I haven't even cleaned these up. It took me over an hour just to unpack the boxes on this because Black Rose, and we've talked about this before, they are excessive in their packing. And it's always frustrating for your buyers when they have to really struggle to get things out of the package. However, I have to say, they did a good job of packing. Everything made it home safely, so can't complain too much. Now, this set, I believe, was $10. Why did I get it? Well, it's the design, it's the pattern. It's unusual, very unusual for a Japanese set. The condition is really good. The gilding is still very strong on this. The condition is like new. However, we've got this as our comparison piece. This is a check set, and I actually wrote that down. Oh, good Lord, this is embarrassing. This was $1.56 for this set. I don't remember what they were originally charging for in the booth, but there was a discount on it. And this is a white and gold lusterware cream and sugar. And this is something unusual that you should be aware of. Very often with European sugar bowls, especially those from the earlier part of the 20th century, later part of the 19th, there was no lid. It was just, here's your sugar bowl, which kind of makes sense because you don't really need a lid and you might want to be, picking out your sugar. Very, very nice set. Super cheap. And the way I figure it, the cost of this offset the cost of this. So between the two, approximately $5.50 for each set. And as I say, that's one of the things I do when I'm shopping in large quantities. I will use a nice low-cost purchase to offset the cost of a higher priced item, especially if it's something that might be a little chancy. And this might be a little chancy. I think this is a set that is going to appeal to a lot of buyers, but I'm taking a bit of a risk. At $10 for a sugar and creamer, I'm not taking too much of a risk. If it were $30, I'd be taking a major risk. But invariably, any sugar and creamer is going to be worth $10. That's what we would consider sort of an entry-level price for vintage sugar and creamer. Of the two, which is the better buy? Here's the thing. I think it might be these. Even though I am not going to price them at what I think the market is, I think if I were, I would get it. And these pieces, although I find them really beautiful because they are so plain, they might have a limited market. Now, they're lusterware, and lusterware just really appeals to me. They're in good condition. The gilding is nice, but still, the only thing to really catch your eye on this, aside from the shimmer of the lusterware, is the nice lines. And the lines are good. These are probably Art Deco era pieces, but it's this Art Deco style that will go well with mid-century too. So my hope when I start to think about buyers is that it's going to appeal to somebody who likes Deco or likes mid-century. But other than that, even though it's a fabulous buy, $1.56, I think this one was probably the better buy. Time will tell on that one. So just make a mental note. What do you think? Now, let's take a look at some other stuff. Oh, here. This is an interesting set. Now, let me take these shakers off. The little tray here is designed for 3 little shakers. These are all made in Japan, but 2 of them are a good match. The other is not. It's also a little tomato, but it doesn't look like it's a perfect match for this set. It does, however, really look like it's a match for this piece. And I'm not even sure what this is. A sugar bowl? A jam pot? Possibly. These pieces, our little shakers, are all marked made in Japan. This, however, is occupied Japan. So this is going to have a boost in value immediately. I'm going to sell them as I bought them, which is as a set, even though, like I say, I'm not really sure if they were. I do think they go together extremely well. And the fact that one of these pieces, this one, is occupied Japan should really keep that price solid. Now, here is another little salt and pepper. Very small. I guess they are pots of flowers. They rather look like muffins with flowers on top to me. It's a little base, but very tiny, very interesting. Again, salt and pepper shakers. These were about $3, so I figured, how wrong can I go? These against those, the tomatoes are going to do better. These are cute. They are small. I do not think they are going to have the same resale value as the other pieces. But, so why did I buy them at all? They come with a little caddy, and salt and pepper shakers that come with little caddies tend to do better. than salt and pepper shakers that just stand independently. I'm not sure why. People tend to like those caddies. So on this one, I think it's a no-brainer. I think this possibly mixed set of Occupied Japan and Made in Japan tomato ware is probably going to do better than these. And because these are very small, and there's nothing really outstanding about them, except that they are unusual. I haven't seen many like these. They're probably not going to be priced as high as the others. It's a larger set. So again, that's a time will tell, but I'm pretty sure I'm right on that. And by the way, feel free to just make little mental notes about this, and I'll let you know how well things did. All right, let's take a look at this. These are lemon servers. It's a little dish with a little handle. Here we go. Here's the other one. They are both Noritake. They are both the same size. They were both approximately the same price. I actually had one of these in my Etsy shop. Sold quickly. I'm not worried about this selling. I know I'm going to be able to sell it. And then we have this one. So here's the question. Which one of these do you think will do better? I would ordinarily be inclined to say the one with the classic Noritake design. But I don't know. This is a popular piece. I see these around a lot. When I put mine in my shop, I checked to see what other people were selling theirs for on Etsy, and I intentionally went in and undercut everybody's price. Not because I want to steal their customers, but because, as I've said before, I want to make this stuff available at reasonable prices. And you all know what I'm paying for it. I tell you what I'm paying for it. So I just want to make sure that these are available. And, without anybody having to take out a second mortgage to get a little something. And Christmas is coming up, so, hey, people are always looking for things. So of these two, I would say this one, but this one has a proven track record. So, I don't know. It's just very interesting to me that I would have found two lemon servers. Lemon servers are not really common pieces. And as I think about it, I have a few pieces in this particular Noritake design with the brown tree. And that's how I always think of it, the brown tree. This is a fall sort of pattern. And I might even take a piece like this and combine it with a couple of other pieces with this brown tree and turn it into its own little set. Who knows? Okay, we're going to do one more real quick and then we're going to walk away. So how about bird, salt, and pepper shakers? Yes, here we go. Got three of these. Parrots. Everybody loves parrots. All right, these are great. So the parrots, and we've got little fat birds, and we've got pelicans. So I have three sets of bird, salt, and pepper shakers. Now, pelicans are remarkably cute. They're very mid-century looking. They are not marked. They are probably Japanese, but I'm not sure about that. The others are marked. These fat little birds are marked Japanese. And the parrots. Again, no brainer. The best buy was the parrots. People absolutely love parrots. These are going to sell. There's no question about that. It's parrot, cockatoo. That's what I'm guessing. I don't know. Our bird lovers can clue me in. And by the way, what are these? Fat little birds. So, bird lovers, let's hear from you. I want to know. Parrots are hot. They really are. So when you find parrot items, assuming they are in good shape and they're well made, grab them up. They are going to sell. Okay, so we're going to break off here. We're going to finish up tomorrow, I hope, because if we can't do this in another video, it's going to be like 2 videos. Don't worry, I'm not going to make them hour long anymore. I'm just definitely going to try to keep this in line. Okay, so this is part 1 of the haul video, and I will do my best to keep you posted on how these do, but I wanted you to see some sort of head-to-head comparisons, not just of the things that I left behind, but of the things that I took with me, because they're both good buys. They're good buys in different ways. So keep that in mind. There's always more than one way to calculate a good buy. Parrots, for example, they will sell well, they will sell quickly. But you've got to know the rest of these birds are going to sell too. And keeping the stock in your store that appeals to people is important. All right, have a great day. We will finish up with this tomorrow, I hope, and I'll see you next time.